Hello, coming from University of San Francisco Geospatial Analysis Lab, I'm Hannah Bartee.
And I'm Ben Gonzalo.
Today we're talking about YMCA of San Francisco clean air centers and what are the most suitable sites for facility ventilation improvements. It's just a reality. It's a new normal that with our changing climate, wildfire smoke events will become an even more common occurrence. And resilient communities will need to have ways to deal with unhealthy air. So our primary research question is which YMCA branches in San Francisco are most suitable to become clean air centers that can be refuges for the public, especially communities that are more vulnerable to the negative health impacts of wildfire smoke, like children, elderly, pregnant women, and historically underserved communities. This equity focus is central to our approach and being able to apply for state grant funds for facility grant ventilation upgrades to create those clean air centers. This map shows the YMCA facility surface areas and the 12 YMCA branches within San Francisco as represented by the dots. The bounds are at 5, 10, and 15 minutes driving time so that we can also look at potential equitable access to these potential clean air sites. And as we can notice from this map, most of San Francisco is within 10-minute drive of a YMCA branch.
For the purpose of achieving our equity-focused analysis, the following data sets were used: median household income, ER-related asthma visits per 10,000 persons, and a diversity index defined by Esri as the likelihood of two persons selected at random in the same area being a different race/ethnicity. In addition, average yearly PM 2.5 concentrations from 2015 to 2017 were used as well, because the focus of our project is on air quality. And these two, diversity index and median household income, we began by plotting in a bivariate map, plotting with high pink areas representing high median household income, but low diversity index, and light blue areas representing a high diversity index, but a low household income. An important distinction to make or note to make is that a low diversity index score does not necessarily mean a low population of people of color, as indicated in the Chinatown area, which does have a low diversity score.
This map represents the number of ER visits caused by asthma per 10,000 people for the years 2015 to 2017. And areas in red like Treasure Island, Bayview Hunters Point, and the Tenderloin and Chinatown areas are indicated in red and have a higher incidence of asthma ER visits. And you can see in yellow here a lower incidence of asthma-related ER visits. And looking at the distribution of the asthma ER visits, we can see that the census tracts with the highest number of ER visits are in the Bayview Hunters Point area, on this area that is kind of an outlier within the standard deviation of the distribution of asthma within the census tracts in San Francisco. So we can tell that not only does Bayview Hunters Point have a high incidence of asthma, but also that there is kind of a cluster of asthma incidents in multiple census tracts in that area. And as Ben mentioned, we are also used PM 2.5 concentrations to weigh our site suitability analysis. And we can see that some of those same areas, Bayview Hunters Point, Treasure Island, and Chinatown that had the high asthma incidence also had a higher mean PM 2.5 concentration over the same 3-year period. Already, we can see some spatial correlation.
And so each of those previous layers support our final suitability analysis output here. As we mentioned earlier, the Bayview Hunters Point, Chinatown, and Treasure Island are both heavily impacted areas already, both because of low income and PM 2.5 concentrations. And so this is represented here on the map, where high suitability areas are represented in dark to light green, and the least suitable areas are shown in red.
And based on these site suitability analysis, there are 5 branches of the YMCA San Francisco that should be prioritized for facility ventilation upgrades to create clean air centers. And as we can see in this slider, those locations are within the Treasure Island YMCA, the Chinatown YMCA, Shiulang Central YMCA in the Tenderloin, Bayview Hunters Point YMCA, and down in Stonestown. And we can see that not only are these the most suitable sites given our environmental justice parameters and PM 2.5 exposure, but many of these branches also have broad-reaching service areas or are the only YMCA branch in their general vicinity.
Further analysis which could be done to improve this project is including different data sets in order to achieve a finer resolution of the populations. So for example, instead of using a diversity index, YMCA-SF leadership could substitute that for US Census Bureau data containing specific ethnic populations such as Black, Indigenous, or people of color specifically.
We hope you'll keep researching, and we highly encourage you to use the resources that we've cited at the bottom of our story map. Thank you.